welcome to Greensboro, North Carolina for today's NC Top 80. I am Marcus Shockley with Netcast Sports, and we are about to get underway in just a moment. Joining me on today's broadcast, first broadcast of the day, is my good friend Josh Thompson. Josh, welcome to the NC Top 80 for 2016.
Thanks, Marcus. Thanks for having me today.
You know, some of these players I'm familiar with, some of them I'm not. That's actually one of the things I love about this event every year. In this first game, we have Team 1 versus Team 2. I know we've got a couple guys here that I've seen before. Michael Lakaru from Raleigh plays at Ravencroft. I know he's got some interest from UNC, a few other schools. Quick scorer, a guy that I really like a lot. But this kid here, I don't know if Tyler May is going to be here today from Farmville. His team just won the state title yesterday. So.
One guy to look out for, Gee from Roxborough. He's set the North Carolina State High.
And we'll do our best to keep up with the official clock.
And we're looking down our list. Several of these guys won state championships yesterday, so congratulations to them.
I know I was talking to Rick this morning, and he said that some guys weren't able to get here, and I'm like, well, you know, it's hard to doubt that. I mean, they had some exhaustive games.
Definitely. There were some barn burners yesterday. Tyler May with the bucket, Farmville Central.
We'll double check that.
Yeah.
So for the people who are not familiar with this, I got to say we have a running clock. These are 80 of the top recruits in the state of North Carolina. We like to call North Carolina the Hoop State. Several of these guys already have high major college interest. I know Reshawn Black is here today, not in this game, but he's already committed to UNC. Devin Dotson will be here today. He has an offer from UNC. We've got some Wake commits or Wake recruits. We've got some NC State recruits. I think we got a couple guys that have interest from Duke. So. But the big thing, Coach, that I always like is the guys who have breakout years. I think a couple years ago we had Rajon Tucker who came in and just lit the gym up with some dunks. Ended up at Florida Gulf Coast, and a lot of people had not seen him before.
Definitely. It's always fun to see who can separate themselves from the pack amongst the best players in the state. Now, guys seem to always surprise some people and rise above the pack and make a name for themselves on the top 80 days.
You know, one thing I always like to see is when you see these guys bring the ball up, sometimes you have guys who are normally playing big men or their size at the high school level would make them post players, and you want to see what they can do in the open court.
They don't mind showing it, shooting the jumper. Shooting big guys stepping out, shooting jumpers. There's a nice right-handed hook there from number 94.
Yeah, everybody wants to score.
Number 94, Milo Supika from Freedom Christian in Fayetteville.
Ball slapped away there by number 51, Michael Akaru. Now, Akaru, I've seen him play down at the J.D. Lewis Center in Raleigh quite a bit. He's really quick, big-time bucket getter.
John Newman from Greensboro Day with the nice mid-range pull-up.
You can hear Rick over the loudspeaker. So we're watching Team 1 versus Team 2 now. The rosters are posted on PhenomHoopReport.com. A lot of media expected here in the building today. A lot of scouts. I see Mike Talbot, one of my favorite scouts, over there at center court.
Interesting story about Mike Talbot. He was the assistant coach at my high school. When I was in high school, Coach Talbot was our assistant coach.
Oh, wow. Well, you know, there's a big three there, I think, by McClooney. Quiniavis McClooney out of Gaston Day, number 61 on the last possession there. One of the things about Mike that I'll always remember and I always tout him is that he is the only guy that I know that saw David West in high school and labeled him as the best power forward available, and he wasn't even ranked. And now David West, of course, is, you know, an NBA
He's
star.
David West,
He's
yeah.
David West.
Mike's been in it for a long time evaluating players.
Yeah, he knows what he's talking about. I always listen to what Mike says. Last summer, Mike and I were down at the EYBL Peach Jam, and it was over 100 degrees. Mike didn't even want to go to lunch. He said, I'm just going to stay in here in the air conditioning. Nice save there on the outside. Drive out of the baseline. Up. No good. They got a foul underneath. No free throws today. Everybody just keeps playing, which I like. I don't really want them to stop play just to shoot. Although I would like to see if the guys can shoot free throws. You know?
That's true. In an event like this, sometimes, you know, with all the media here, guys need to show what they can do rather than spending time shooting the free throws.
Yeah, and with a running clock, you know.
Newman with a nice drive and finish. Greensboro Day product.
Adjust our score just a little bit there. Doing our best to keep up. Other side putback, gets his own rebound, slapped away, and there's going to be a foul call, and that's McClooney again. He's been very active, I noticed.
Definitely. There's about 4 rebounds for him already. He's a 2018 6'5" Gaston Day.
Yeah, you know, I like him. He looks like a true wing. At 6'5", that's a college-sized wing. You know, you can't argue with that. And it looks like he has a decent handle for the small forward position, maybe a shooting guard position.
Definitely. And being 2018, you never know how much more he's going to grow.
Yeah, excellent point. So 4:40 left in this one, or at least this first quarter. And we got a loose ball over here. I tried to dive on that one, but it was under the table, you know.
Got our first line of subs in for both teams now.
Rick Lewis was telling the guys before the camp started in the morning speech, I guess. You know, hey, if you're going to get in for a certain amount of time. When you're in for that amount of time, you need to play hard the entire time.
I think playing hard is a skill, and if guys can play hard, just playing hard can set themselves apart from other people.
Well, you know, a lot of NBA guys and FIBA agents and scouts will say that often the only thing that separates guys that go pro and the guys who don't go pro is how hard they work and how hard they play.
Yeah, for sure. I think the higher level you go up, the little things is what's going to separate people so much.
Shot rattles out there. One guy I like in this game is for the away team in the dark blues, Logan Vosberg, number 80. He's kind of an undersized big man. Got great hands.
I've heard a lot of talk about number 1 on the blue team, Jimmy Sanders from News Charter. Heard a lot of. I think he's had a great season this year.
Yeah, he's very quick. I like him as a guard. Of course, he's going to have to be a true point guard at the college level, but it seems like it's harder and harder for colleges to find a great true point guard.
It is. I think everybody wants to kind of be a combo now.
Yeah, and you know, there's thousands and thousands of combo guards.
From a coaching perspective, just to have a point guard that can run the team and make everybody around him better, even if he doesn't score, he's just having a good point guard that can do those things is invaluable to you.
For those viewers out there who may not be familiar with Coach Thompson, he's a state champion winning coach from Bishop McGinnis High School. And there's a tough little foul underneath there, but and Coach Thompson is probably more famous than is for coaching at our Basketball Elite Southeast Summer Showcase.
That's right.
In the summer. I mean, the state title is nice. You know, I mean, you get some accolades, but it's nothing probably like the media frenzy that happens just by being involved with that.
And we took our first loss. We took our first loss at your event last year, so we gotta get a little revenge this year.
You had a Krzyzewski-like run going on. Several years of dominance.
We're hoping to get back on the right track at the Southeast Summer Showcase in June 2016.
Yeah, we had some great players come through there. Juwan Evans named Big 12 Freshman of the Year this year, was at our 2013 event. Nice little feed and dunk inside there.
Dunked by Jalen Thorne from Westover in Fayetteville.
You know, he's got quick feet, 6'7".
2018, another 2018.
You got to like those guys. They have a couple years to go. Look at that, great timing on the rebound, and that translates to every level. That's something, rebounding timing.
Yep.
Right from the elbow. Would have liked to have seen that drop.
Seen a lot of mid-range jumpers today. That's good. Now, guys not settling for threes, getting a little bit closer.
Nice little finish through contact there.
Tyler May, again, from Farmville Central with the finish there.
Three ball's not really falling for either team early. Tried to split the defense there. You know, another thing is that these guys, some of these guys, this will be their first high-level event, you know, and they may be a dominant player on their high school team or AAU, but this is an event where you start really having to, you know, the guys are as quick as you are and all that kind of thing.
That's a great point, Marcus. Guys, every time they move up a level, and essentially what this would be a college game. You know, you're used to being the biggest, strongest, fastest guy on the court. You get out here with other players like this, you find out who you really are.
So many players don't realize that they use their athleticism at the high school level more than they will be able to in college.
That's such a true statement.
Nice little spin move in the open court. Kick to the outside. Here's Sanders on the outside. And
Great
Sanders
shot.
with the big three.
Great shot. Beautiful rotation on the shot and good elevation. Tie game, 17-all between
17-all.
Team 1 and Team 2 on Court 1 in the first game of the day at the NC Top 80.
Yeah, we had a little break in the action here. I don't know how long we've got. They don't have anything on the clock here for period number 2 for, like, the break in between. Sometimes it's like 30 seconds. Coach, we did the USA Prep national championships down in North Myrtle Beach last weekend, and their timeouts, they would give them a 30-second timeout, and it felt like it was about 6 seconds. We would say, "Oh, we're going to timeout," and they would be already buzzing them back into the floor.
That's so much how it is with our NC Spartans teams. We'll have it's supposed to be a 30-second timeout, but it's about 10 seconds, and we're buzzing you back on the floor.
Like, whoa.
They're ready to get these games going, get the guys out playing on the floor.
So I didn't even have time to get to the concession stand. Here's a run out, 1-on-none.
Oh.
A nice little cockback tomahawk jam there.
Thomas Allen from Garner High School.
Yeah, he's been getting a lot of interest recently.
We see why with that fast break dunk. Nice up fake. Number 92. Number 92, Caleb Malden from West Rowan High School. Great up fake and finish.
Tried to power over the top there, unable to finish. Number 94. Milo Sapika out of Freedom Christian, 6'8", 2017 player.
He's made a couple nice moves to the basket with his back to the basket today.
Yeah, he has a nice frame, and he looks like he could continue to add muscle. Nice little putback there.
Number 40, Isaac Suffren from Charlotte Myers Park. Speaking of big men bringing it up the court, Caleb Malden just bringing the ball up court there for the white team. 6'8".
To the outside, wide open three here. That one falls off the front of the rim. One thing I like about this event, it's a little less ragged than you see some of the open showcases. Mm-hmm. You can still find some great players at those open showcases like the Phenom 150 and stuff, but the play can be, a lot of up and down. And we see that today, obviously, but it's a little bit more structured.
Sure, and I think Rick's rules, when he mentions it about no fast break, the guys don't necessarily like it all the time, but it does help in that regard. It slows the game down a little bit.
Nice pump fake.
Great take by John Newman there.
Looking a little bit like Virginia last night in the ACC tournament with their ball fakes.
That's right. A low-scoring game in that ACC tournament championship.
It's really something. You have to hand it to Tony Bennett. I think his defensive – he's done a good job recruiting recently, but his defensive intensity, they make you work.
And it doesn't matter. You see them in November and then again in March, and they're better, obviously, but they're good throughout the year on the defensive end.
Nice little drive and finish there. Thomas Allen once again.
So last year, I remember in this event, we had NC State commit point guard for NC State, Dennis Smith. Dennis Smith was here last year playing. He was fun to watch.
Yeah, he's definitely a guy who at some point may be an NBA prospect. I mean, we're probably a little early for that. I know that, but he's very quick, very strong.
No, NC State will be glad to get him in uniform. Great finish there by number 92. Caleb Malden from Salisbury. We've been calling his name a lot today.
Salisbury to me is one of those underrated basketball areas. There's been a lot of guys that have come out of that region. Kishun Sherrill, who came to our 2011 event in this very gym, actually was the player of the year there in Augusta State.
And going back to my playing days, his cousin, Scooter Sherrill.
Scooter Sherrill, that's the other guy I was going to mention. A lot of people don't remember Scooter Sherrill that played for NC State.
Scooter was very tough. Really good player.
Really strong. So, I mean, and there's just some guys. And then Bobby Jackson, who came out, who played in the NBA for a while, actually came from the Salisbury area. So the Kinston area is really strong. You know, obviously Charlotte and Raleigh. But Salisbury is probably one of the more overrated or underrated, not overrated, underrated areas.
That's a great point. Great point.
We
got another Salisbury product here today, Jalen Sanders from West Rowan, I believe it is.
Jalen is another guy that came to our showcase, and he's a tough guard. I really like him. Still consistent, working on consistency from outside, but he's tough going to the basket. North Rowan would be a team that you would be familiar with. They're still at the 1A.
They're actually 2A. They moved up in the last realignment. We've played those guys several times in state tournament before they moved up, and then again at team camp. And John Newman with the double pump dunk on the fast break.
Nice little clutch. And that makes it 37-35.
And Newman with about 8 points. There's so much size on the floor now. I look out there, I don't think I see any player under 6'3".
Yeah, and you know, Rick and I have talked. We actually talked about this a couple of days ago. He and I on the phone about the reality that a lot of guys who are like 6'2", 6'3", you're going to be playing the point guard in college at most places. I mean, I know Rick's son Tyler is one of those exceptions at 5'11", McDonald's All-American, but it's very difficult. And if you're not that size and you're trying to play a combo guard or small forward, you're pretty much going to be out of luck.
Yeah, it's hard enough to make it, but when you're an undersized guy, it just makes it so much harder. And you better be exceptional at some facet of the game.
He stepped right into that shot and dropped it. That's Todd Smith out of Freedom Christian, the 2017 6'4" player.
Maverick LaRue from 3 out of West Forsyth High School here in Winston-Salem.
Maverick LaRue struggled a little bit this year in his high school year, but he's still a solid outside shooter. Good build, good size.
Really good team West Forsyth had this year. It's unfortunate they had to play a conference opponent in the first round of the state playoff.
Yeah, that was bad luck of the draw there.
There's your guy, number 80, Logan Bosberg from Orange High School with the three-pointer. And one for Tyler May from Farmville Central. Marcus, do you know if that is really Tyler May or if he's just wearing his number?
I don't know. We got to find out.
If it is him, Tyler coming off of a state championship yesterday.
Either that or it's a doppelganger.
Got Sanders on the break and one. Nice finish.
Yeah, that's nice.
Nice finish against the 6'4" Todd Smith from Freedom Christian.
Nice little crossover there. So, you know, Coach, if you're coaching an event like this, what are you really looking to do? Are you just trying to get guys to share the ball or anything, or are you really yelling at them and saying, hey, dive on that ball?
I think it's the thing, sharing the basketball and playing hard, like you said earlier. With those two things at an event like this, you can't be selfish, and you've just got to make sure that you show everybody in attendance what you can do and why you're here. Why were you invited to this thing?
So, you know, do you ever feel like you have to get on to guys?
At an event like this, no, because if they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, they're only hurting themselves.
Yeah, I know that, and this is a little insight I'd try to share. I won't name a player, nice little score inside there. But, you know, I've scouted some of these events, and different events around the country, and then there's sometimes there will be players who look really good. They look like college prospects, and their attitude will be so poor, even in interacting with their teammates and everything. Not only will I stop watching that guy, I've seen other scouts say, nope, I'm done with that guy.
Yeah, I can't say enough about that, Marcus. That's a great point. I was fortunate enough to be able to spend some time with USA Basketball in the summer of 2015 and just be at the training camp of USA and see the best players in the world, Kevin Durant and, some of those guys, and the way they conduct themselves, purely professional, good attitudes. They worked hard. They looked their coaches in the eye when they were talking to them. And to be a great player, I think you've got to be a good person also. To get the most out of who you are as a player, you've got to be a good person as well.
Yeah, I know. I've seen some scouts talking about, social media and everything. You guys can tweet yourself out of a scholarship. But really, it's kind of sad. I wish you could tell the players, like, look, you have the ability to play, but your attitude is going to prevent you from that. And college coaches aren't going to put you on their team if they know you're going to be that way, that kind of person.
That's exactly right. Nobody wants to be around a guy like that.
Nice run
no
out there.
No matter how good you are.
Run out there for Vosburg. And Rick Lewis said earlier, the college coaches, like, if they watch a practice, they can almost tell more from practice than they can from a game, because if you play hard in practice, then you're going to play hard in the game. They already know that.
That's one thing we want, competitors. Coaches want competitors. It doesn't matter if we're doing sprints, doing a layup drill, or playing for the state championship. We want guys that are going to compete every possession.
Got a little banner problem here behind us.
We do. Our banner guy, James Blackburn, is not here today.
Not here. James out in Vegas pretending to be scouting some college basketball. James never basically there's two rules with James. He will scout basketball if there is a media hospitality room. That's rule number one. And number two, if it's in Vegas.
Oh, that's him. If he can do both of those things, he's in heaven. James does a great job evaluating players and probably one of the hardest workers in basketball.
We got a 3-minute alongside Josh Thompson. And we are underway. Coaches gave a little bit of instruction. Mostly, I think guys went to get some water, some Gatorade.
Nice aggressive move to the goal there by number 82.
Yeah, stay with the shot. He wasn't able to pay off that time, but you like guys to stick with it.
Nice pull-up jumper and make from Thomas Allen out of Garner High School.
I'm having a hard time keeping up with the scoreboard. It seems like they're very slow in delay in updating it.
Yeah, it's a high-scoring game, 53-52 with 10-minute running quarters.
This is a little bit of, was it Duke and Notre Dame? Or
not much defense. Duke and NC State.
Duke and NC State, that's what I'm thinking of.
Half.
Yeah, Duke and NC State. I was like, they're not going to be able to keep up this pace. Bring some people out of the stands.
Nice take by number 94, Milo Supika from Freedom Christian. A nice drive from the top of the key.
You got to like that, 6'8".
Looked like he had a little foot speed there.
Yeah, he definitely looks like he's got a good back to the basket game, but I could see him playing at the power forward spot at the college level. There he is chasing down a loose ball. Little drive, spin, nice move inside, no good.
He's been impressive today. Hasn't finished every time, but very under control moves.
You got to like that standing dunk there by number 92, Caleb Malden.
Another Salisbury product out of West Rowan High School. Nice block by number 62, Philip McKenzie out of the Cannon School. John Newman, great pass.
I like seeing a great pass where guys really display like they're watching the play unfold. I think that's one of those things that you only appreciate if you're a real basketball diehard aficionado fan,
For sure, and I think one of the things that's lacking in high school basketball these days, basketball IQ, guys like you're talking about that just understand the game and see more what's going on. Maybe the game slows down for them a little bit.
See, like right here on that, I wouldn't have liked to see, I know guys are trying to get their buckets, but just driving straight through to the lane when you got two guys on you, you had guys open on either wing,
And forcing a shot rather than dumping it off.
Yeah.
Nice take there by number 40, Isaac Suffren from Myers Park, Charlotte, North Carolina. Offensive foul. That was an easy one. Lowered the shoulder right into the chest of the defender.
One thing I like about Suffren, number 40, I like how he leaks out to the corners on the wing. He kind of knows where he's supposed to be when he doesn't have the ball.
That's spacing, basketball IQ.
Philip McKenzie inside.
John Newman, very active today. Very smart player. Comes from a great high school program, Greensboro Day.
Oh, yeah. Freddie Johnson, one of the best coaches, I would say, in the country at the high school level. Freddie and I, as well as John Allen, who's here today, are going to be on a panel on Friday at the Triad All-Star, an educational session for parents, along with a few other people more knowledgeable than me, Rick Lewis. So hopefully some parents will get a chance to come out and we can give you all the breakdown of what we know and what to avoid.
Triad All-Star Games turned into a great event. If you're around the Greensboro, Winston-Salem, High Point area and you're a high school basketball fan, you need to go watch that game. And it seems like the activities around the actual game has just increased every year. I think it's going to be a great event again this year.
That was a nice feed there, and I agree with you that this year I think he's doing more of a Triad All-Star weekend. He's even bringing back the alumni for an alumni game. They've had some great players, and then they'll even go out of their area and try to grab a couple of guys that may be lesser known, to get them in the dunk contest or three-point contest to get them some exposure as well. 67-56 now. The home team, the home Whites, have built a bit of a lead.
And one finish. And one finish for Tyler May, again, out of Farmville Central.
Rotation. Now these rotations come at intervals. Everybody plays a certain number of minutes, so everybody gets a chance to get seen. And Jimmy Sanders back in, number 1. Logan Vosberg, number 80, right there. Vosberg driving to his left, wants to pass it inside, finds a teammate under the basket there. One thing I like to see on defense on an individual level is lateral quickness and the angles that they take.
And who really wants to play D out here
you're right.
in an event like this? Sometimes that's a forgotten thing, but it's good to see guys competing on the defensive end.
I think it's tough for kids because they don't get the notoriety. You rarely see media and scouts talking about, oh, this guy plays lockdown D. I think that may give the impression that they can't play offense because of all you talk about is a guy's defense. But you're going to struggle at the college level if you can't play defense.
Absolutely. I've seen many guys not get recruited because the question is, who's he going to guard?
Oh, yeah. Even at the pro level, which, most guys are not going to hit the pro level, but they say, well, who could he guard in the pros right now?
That's one of the things I love about the Southeast Summer Showcase is the defensive MVP.
Yeah, we try to give that out. We have that coaches award. We try to, and in 2013, not to talk about my own event here, but in 2013 we had a stellar event. We had so many guys that year. Gabe DeVoe is playing on Clemson. Gary Clark, who won the MVP, just won the defensive MVP of the year in his conference. They're playing at Cincinnati. And like I said, Juwan Evans is a Big 12 conference freshman of the year. We've got some updates here to the roster. We'll see if so I don't see Tyler May on here, so I'm going to have to assume that that's who we have. These are late additions. Jordan Beal out of Voyager Academy, a late addition today. So definitely a player I like to see. And then Larry McLeod of Bull City Prep.
Good.
I'm good. So 75-56, this game has gotten a little bit out of hand as the road team hasn't scored in a while.
Yeah, I think they had 50 at halftime. Number 52 there with the basket, the three-pointer. And number 52 is Todd Smith from Freedom Christian. Marcus, looking at on the floor now, do you know who is the most highly recruited player up to this point?
At the moment, it's a little tough. I think several of these guys are underrated. I think several guys have Division II and Division III interest, heavy Division III interest. Let's see who all is out there.
Or that's been in our game thus far today.
Well, number 84, let's see,
Jalen Thorne.
Jalen Thorne. He's on the floor right now, the big man. He's absolutely a college prospect. As most of these guys are college prospect, but he's probably at least a low major. And plus at his age and 6'8" and his foot speed. Yeah, he's a guy that I would watch. I'd want to see them more. You know, I always like to see guys at least 3 times, but.
And speaking of Thorne, it looks like he's got a good frame. Although he hasn't put a whole lot of weight on now, you can see he's not rail thin.
Yeah.
Look like he's got room to grow.
So right now he's playing the post, but got good timing there. He is. That way he couldn't hold on to the rebound. He's got good foot speed, good footwork. As far as in the game, I know Michael Okoro has had some heavy college interest. Tyler May, of course. And Tyler May will actually be at our Fab 40 showcase, which is an event we put on in Fayetteville. We put on different ones. They're very, we like to call them an in-the-gym grassroots low-level thing, where it's basically just 40 of the top players in the area. We put it on, it's a bare-bones affair, very little money. And we bring in as many college coaches as we can. And last year we had a couple guys, Kyron Bowman, who came last year, has been ended up being offered by UConn and a few other places. And Bowman may be back, but Tyler May will be there. So that's coming up on March 26th.
Speaking of Akaru, they just made a great outlet pass up the floor for the last fast break for the white team.
I like watching Akaru down at that J.D. Lewis Center. They have a fall league that I really like. And the guys basically coach themselves in that league. But he's and one of the things I like about that is you see guys who are really floor leaders. You know, LaRue's shot drops as the buzzer sounds, and that's going to make it 85-63. So home white's running away with this one.
Held the away blue team to 13 points that quarter, and white team put up 34 to 13 quarter for the white team.
Yeah, that is a blowout quarter. A lot of runouts. We're underway here for the fourth. And I want to encourage everybody, if you're in the Triad area next Saturday or Sunday, come out to the Triad All-Star. The Triad alumni game is actually at Calvary Baptist in West Winston-Salem, towards Clemens, and the All-Star game itself is at Walkertown High School this year. We will be broadcasting the girls, the boys, and the dunk contest on Sunday.
Walkertown with a big facility, great facility there, new, and it's going to be a great spot.
So I encourage everybody to come out. If you can't make it, you can watch it on netcastsports.com, but we like to fill the gym first if that's possible.
And you'll get your money's worth, because it's worth the price of admission,
Yeah.
seeing the dunk contest and the skills challenges and then the 2 games.
Yeah, it's always been a great event. They've grown, and Keyshawn Bishop, who organizes the event, just puts so much work into it.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the proceeds from the event go to Keyshawn's group that goes on a mission trip.
That is correct. Yeah, it uses it to help fund a mission trip down to St. Vincent and Grenadines, in the Caribbean, where Keyshawn is originally from. Nice.
Love to
put
see
back
that
there.
play. Number 94, Milo Supika gets on the floor, taps a loose ball to a teammate. Teammate hits it right back for the dunk.
Trying to go for everything right there. Todd Smith trying to go for a little in-traffic jam. Got the call, I think.
John Newman with another good-looking shot, even though that one didn't drop.
Yeah,
really
Newman,
good at that mid-range.
Newman has great length. Nice putback. Getting to those loose balls and those putbacks have really helped the home team. Team 1. I would say Team 2's got a couple guys that are trailing back on defense a little bit too much.
Yeah. Thomas Allen, number 23 for the blue team, playing with a lot of energy lately. The guys are sucking wind a little bit. Maybe been a few a week or two since they last played a high school game.
This is like full court against high-level play pickup, you know.
Nice move in traffic.
We got a foul on the inside there. 93-71, home team. Cruising a little bit here.
76, Tyler May with the loose ball and foul right there. May, we've called his name a lot as Newman drives in for a nice two-handed dunk on the other end.
Drive, ball slapped away.
If there are any younger players out there that have goals of playing college basketball, they need to come to an event like this if it's in their area, just to see the high level of play that there is and the size. Because sometimes I think watching games on TV, you can't see how big, strong, and fast these players are.
Yeah, I think there's a difference. You know, you see guys like I'm 6'4", and I always tell guys, you know, I'm the same height as Jason Kidd, you know, and he's the little guard out there. So just remember that. You know, when the higher levels you go, suddenly you're not going to be a post player anymore. Nice run out and finish there.
That's a great eye opener.
Oh, that's a nice behind the back pass. Little bounce off the ground.
By number 35, LeVar Batts from J.M. Robinson High School.
Home team offense just continues to click.
Number 52 with the pull-up three. Waved off. Maybe somebody stepped out of bounds. Blue ball going the other way. 5 minutes to go. White team up 97-81.
Yeah, they're about to hang 100 here. I don't know. Do our scoreboards, they look like they can handle 100. Extra one there.
Yeah, I think so.
No biscuits or anything, I think. And there we go. One away, I guess.
And then we sub. This will probably be the last line of subs we see in game one here at the NC Top 80 for 2016. Good, thank you.
Yeah, this is always one of my favorite events to come to. A lot of talent on the floor, and really you just step back and kind of watch, see what the guys can do throughout the course of the day. Usually, at some point in the afternoon, some of the guys will find one of the rims and start doing a little dunk contest. And the ball is life is over here. I see Don over here under the basket close to us.
Through the years, we have seen some amazing dunks by these high school kids here at this event and then at the Southeast Summer Showcase also. It's kind of amazing sometimes what these guys can do.
It's really stunning, Coach, how, you know, and I've talked with other scouts, like guys our age, when you're younger, if you could dunk, that was considered an athletic feat. Now it's like if you can't dunk,
you don't have a chance.
You don't have a chance.
And a couple years ago, the dunk at the Southeast Summer Showcase that made it to Sports Center. How tall was Carly Clemens?
I think he's only like 6'1".
If that.
If that.
He jumped over, three guys? That was an amazing feat.
Three guys, and we should tell people it was three guys that were 6'8" or taller.
Yeah. Yeah, he put on a show. I think his brother now is playing at Campbell University.
He is, and he's had a great freshman year. Mm-hmm. Probably conference player. You're definitely one of the freshmen of the conference.
And he was actually playing here a few years ago in the top 80 against our former point guard, Spencer Wilson. Clemens now at Campbell and Spencer Wilson at Belmont Abbey.
Yeah, Spencer, great story, great player. You guys had a little national recognition. There's a nice little dunk.
Wow. High flyer right here. Caleb Malden from West Rowan High School, another Salisbury product.
Yeah, he's a guy we'd like to get up there to the showcase. We like those Salisbury guys. It's not that far from the Triad.
Quick little drive.
I do think that area is underrated as far as the state. There's so many guys that come out of that area. Yep. And North Rowan always has a strong program.
Mm-hmm. Salisbury and seems Fayetteville, too, is one of those areas that doesn't get us talked about as much, but puts out a lot of good players.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. There's been some great guys that have come through there. See Elite Mixtapes in the house. Oh, that's nice.
Nice three-pointer by number 61, McClooney from Gaston Day. Sanders with a nice push, dish to the corner. Two guys going for the lob there.
You got to call ball. It's like the old baseball play. I got it. LaRue, nobody. Look, I thought he heard a whistle. I heard a whistle too, but he was. Three balls flying fast and furious now with a minute and a half left in this one. Spin move inside, finds a lot of traffic. He came out of nowhere, got his own rebound. There were three guys in there. He just sort of spun through them.
Yeah, great job staying down. Head fake really sold it, and all three guys bit on it and jumped. Nice finish down low by Vosberg in traffic. 108-91. Blue team made a pretty good comeback here, but still down 17.
Yeah. Oh, that rim cringed a little bit as he was coming in on that one.
Another high-flying dunk by Malden.
This time the ball is life guys were there to catch the action. Under a minute left to play in this one.
You see why Jimmy Sanders is so highly rated, even though he's a little bit undersized. He runs his team really well. He finds the open man, and he's so quick with the basketball.
He really digs in.
Nice finish.
He's really had a nice little burst here at the end. Oh, no easy baskets.
No, you better come strong or they'll come at all.
Yeah.
Malden very active the last 5 minutes of the game.
That's something that I actually like to see because as the day wears on, you start seeing the guys who are in great shape, and that's going to wrap it up. But you see the guys at the end of the day that can play, and I know like the Surratt brothers who play football as well. Those guys last year going stronger and stronger, and they look better at the end of the game. So that's going to do it for game number one here at the NC Top 80 at Prolific Park. Along for Netcast Sports, I've been Marcus Shockley alongside Josh Thompson. We thank everybody for joining us, and we'll see you in just a few minutes for the next game. Thanks a lot.